Having trouble finding that special soulmate? Oh, I know. Are you ready to find love? So what do you think your ideal mate is? This I can solve for you. Check out Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report at secretsofbirthdays.com. Good morning, it's Tuesday, and the Cancer season is upon us. But don't be too surprised if you feel death on the horizon. Sensei says today it's time to let the old emotions go. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Tuesday Namaste Today. Welcome to Namaste Today, a soulful way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Christopher Witecki. Namaste, my friend, and welcome now to Tuesday. Well, today may feel like death warmed over. Literally, we got a couple of things going on. For one, the sun's moving into Cancer. So we're beginning our annual 30-day examine of our emotions. So as human beings, this is the one part that we tend to ignore, so it's not always as fun. But the death warmed over today is just that. Today's step 0 rules the day. It is time to identify where you need protection and identify what feelings you want to go. We'll get into that with the Lightwalker Newsflash, but first let's take a look at today's Zodiac weather. This Zodiac weather is for Tuesday, June 21st, 2016. Well, looking at the 5-day mood cast, tomorrow is going to be sunny and calm, actually. On Thursday, it'll be cloudy with a chance of some moodiness. But on Friday, it'll be sunny and learning new adventures. But today, Sensei predicts, it is overcast with a chance of eerie quiet. That's because it's the death of the old and the birth of the new. We're in the vortex. Now, the Great Human Walk has reached step 0, Cancer. That is protect and emotion. That means the ruling channel of the day is step 0, and that means today's ruling planet is Pluto, which happens only once a month. Now today our emotional focus will be cold and rather controlled. The moon is in Act 2 of Capricorn and will cross over Pluto, so a double dose of death today. And our mind is mentally realizing quantum realizations. Mercury is at the quantum step of step 13, Gemini. So that makes one wonder, what will this transit be about? We'll have that answer in today's Lightwalker Newsflash. Today's Newsflash, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. I think it's time we build shelter. And that's what I mean for the whole month of Cancer. I really believe that this particular Cancer season, which is when the human walk always faces their emotions and always rings out and prepares for the next year, I think this year we're building a new shelter because I don't think we're in the same world or country that we once were in. And it may even, it's political, it's the president's and that election, it's all the violence and what's happened. Clearly, we're all, with the sun in Gemini, come to the conclusion that we're not in the same world. But now with the sun in Cancer, we're really starting to feel that there's no place like home. But where is home? So looking at some of the astrology, there's a lot that points us out. Between now and for the next 16 days, I argue you're going to be dismantling the way you have usually felt or nurtured yourself. So your old home family habits, like it's a dismantling. Basically, what used to make us feel safe doesn't anymore. And so it's time to build a new shelter to feel safe. So the first 16 days are really about the destruction of the old emotional foundation. And then once the sun opposes Pluto and we cross that barrier, I believe we now are building the new emotional shelter for our new emotional well-being. So I think this is an emotional shelter building month, and I think we're all finding a new emotional home. But there's other signs. Mars is retrograde still in Scorpio and will be really for the next 8 days. So this is also about our actions and how our ego takes care of us or not doesn't take care of this. And so I think this is to some degree discovering in the next 8 or 9 days where our egos have failed us, where the dumbass has not been there for the king or the queen, which is our heart. And so to some degree this first 16 days will be not just taking down the old nest, but also noticing where our old actions, our old ego, our old character never really nurtured us the way we needed to, and at the same time allowing our new ego to step up and be nurtured the way we need to. So I think it's going to be a powerful time that way too. But wait, there's more. Venus is at step 4 today, so that means that today I think we're opening up to a new feeling, and many of us are unaware of what our emotional potentials are or how well we could feel. So there's a lot of eye-opening that's going on this month, and literally learning for the first time that there's different care, there's different ways. But then I'll leave one more thing on the griddle. It's also what we think we emotionally deserve. Mercury's at step 13 today. And so today we are thinking that we deserve a new level. So Sensei says today is going to be a vortex day. I think it's going to feel extremely strange because all these different things are changing at the same time, and it's for you to become detached emotionally to your old way of self-nurturing and begin to see and attach to the new way of self-nurturing. And that's literally, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. All right, so without further ado, let me go ahead and take 3 breaths and channel what I call a megascope for you. The first part of my show is written. I take time to research it. And this part, I literally just go in and see what my guides have to say. And often I've forgotten things anyway. I encourage you to take 3 breaths yourself and release any drama and prepare for today's Step 0 day. Okay, so today's going to feel actually pretty solid is what I feel. I think the last 36 hours have been very intense, and today is really a day where Spirit's showing me we can kind of go cold. So the good news is you'll have the energy to go cold and turn your back on what you don't have time for anymore. And it's kind of important maybe to set that precedent today. So being a Step 0 day is really a day where you lay down the law. And you know, it's funny about Scorpio and Step 0. You don't have to be told twice. Once you're bitten, it's like that's it. You know, once it hurts, once you've gone there, there's nothing to look at again. You know where the line has to be or where you have to drop the 0. So today is going to feel okay. They're showing me that today is really about starting to feel through what you need to feel safe and to feel grounded. And more importantly than safe and grounded, at peace. That's what Spirit really was showing me, that it's time for people to build their own temples now and connect to Spirit on their own level and on their own practice. And it's like, oh, I already do that or whatever. It's like, no, I don't know, where we are with Saturn and Sagittarius and with our personal beliefs. For those of us who've been on this Lightwalker path since like 2006 when Pluto went into Sagittarius, it's like, no, not 2006, excuse me, 1996 when Pluto went into Sagittarius. We're at a point now where a lot of us are talking but not necessarily going through and doing what we need to do to feel spiritual and to feel holy, to feel whole. So today's really about marking territory, very much like a dog does, where you're going to say, nope, that's it, I'm not feeling this way, nope, that's the old me, and paying attention to where you're fighting yourself. Is your inner child like throwing a temper tantrum that it has to do something for you? Because if that's the case, you just need more love and you need more attention there. And it's important to see why you are resisting. It's very possible that that's the old ego, but it's also very possible that the new you needs encouragement too. So today's all about monitoring yourself and marking your territory for feeling good. So let me give you some steps to take you on your day, away with you for your day. Step 1, create your sacred 0. So create a sacred space today. That space can be 7 minutes. It can be 7 minutes in the bathtub. My sacred space was in the tub for a long time. I take a bath, and that was my sacred space. But create your sacred space and mark that space, because with what we're going through this month in Cancer, you may want to go back there. Step 2, release all your old drama for the whole year to Mother Earth. Realize this will take about 2 weeks to completely release. Don't expect to feel amazing overnight, but begin the process from your sacred space to release old drama. Step 3, create new boundaries that serve and protect your peace. create new boundaries that serve and protect your peace. So, for instance, I know I can't go on camera unless I've had some tea or coffee. That's my boundary. That protects my peace, okay? So make sure you create those boundaries. So those who watched over my personal Sensei network, and it's such an honor to watch over. Today in your pep talk, I'm going to give you some ideas on making your master's path. In other words, how does one build a holy temple? I'm going to talk about some specifics of building an altar in a holy temple and connecting to your spiritual side. And at 3 o'clock, your eye candy is going to focus on how to nurture the baby. These are tips and tricks based on your moon sign in your natal chart of how to treat yourself. Those details are your eye candy at 3 o'clock. And for everyone else, I would encourage you to join now, better than ever, the Personal Sensei service, because we're about to clear out all of our emotions in the next 30 days. And if you let me just help you one day at a time, one step at a time, in 30 days you can find yourself completely clear of your emotional drama. Don't wait. Come on down to seriousjoy.me. All right, friends, that's all I have for today. I do want to say I am grateful to be a part of your life, and make sure you take the time and space to create your circle. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be. So, what's the right thing to do? Sit with it. How do you feel? How do you want, what's your official response? Still angry today? Still angry the next day? And you're letting a lot of this crap out. And that's what this summer is for you, is going to be a lot like letting a lot of crap out